Hi everybody, it's Justin with Epic Game Time. I'm here bringing you another deck tech, and this is a deck that I've been playing on stream lately, and it is Mardu Gearhulk Control. So this deck is a lot of fun, and it's surprisingly competitive. So next time you go into an FNM, you want something a little fresh, pick this thing up. Alright, well let's go over it. So we have 3 Canyon Slaws, 3 Evolving Wilds, 4 Inspiring Vantage, 4 Mountain, 1 Painted Bluff, 4 Plains, 2 Shambling Vents, and 3 Swamps. We'll break this down a little more. Shambling Vent is simply, it's just another attacker. The life gain is great. Plus blocking helps too. We have Evolving Wilds and Canyon Slaws. Now normally you don't want a card like that in this deck, but Delirium matters in our sideboard. So when we sideboard for a lot of matchups, Delirium does matter, so we're going to want those. Then we have our spells. As I said, this is a control deck. So what would a control deck with white be without 2 Blessed Alliance? This is the target player sacks an attacking creature. So here's the thing. You want to ideally have this in your deck for like those Teamer Energy decks or the red-green decks. This beats up Bristling Hydra really well. We can use it against Ulamog, but usually if they're attacking with Ulamog, you're in trouble anyways. But it is an answer to a single attacking Ulamog. We have 2 Immolating Glares. That's just a nice card to have against zombies, nice card to have against humans. 4 Tormenting Voices and 4 Prophetic Prisms. This is just simply to get cards in our graveyard and get cards in our hand. That's what those are for. 2 Forsake the Worldly. Now, Forsake the Worldly is cool because it also hits enchantments and cycles. So if we don't need it, we can cycle it. But if we're going against zombies, it hits Liliana's Mastery. It obviously hits Mardu. It hits Heart of Kirin. So it's just an all-around great card to have. 2 Sweltering Suns. Great against zombies. Great against humans. So it's just a nice card to have as well. 3 Cast Out. This is our answer. This is our good answer to Ulamog. Ulamog comes down, and in this deck, the Exile 2 permanence isn't that backbreaking. So, when Ulamog does come down, as long as it's not like turn 4, because that obviously is pretty backbreaking, we can go ahead and Cast Out, which is a great answer to Ulamog before Ulamog can attack. Or, if they Marvel, don't hit Ulamog, they get rid of the Marvel. Cast Out, so we have 3 of those. 4 Panharmonicons. This is for our Gearhulks. Because what's better than 1 Gearhulk trigger? 2 Gearhulk triggers. What's better than 2 Gearhulk triggers? 3 Gearhulk triggers. So we have 4 of those. We have 2 Restoration Gearsmiths. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this card because I'm sure some of you are looking at like, what? Actually, let me display it. There we go. Restoration Gearsmith. 2 white and a black for a 3/3. When Restoration Gearsmith enters the battlefield, return target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So, with Panharmonicon, that triggers multiple times, and that gets our Gearhulks back, it gets our, Panharmonicons back, it gets, it gets these things out of our graveyard. And how do they get in the graveyard? Well, we'll show you here in just a moment. We have let's go Fumigate first. 3 Fumigates, and this is just, again, a nice board wipe. We're a control deck, so if humans or zombies or red-green energy or Teamer energy gets ahead of us, Fumigate resets the board quite nicely. Then we have our Gearhulks, and let me hit that preview panel one more time. First, we have Cataclysmic Gearhulk, which is great against the token deck that has been propping up here and there. Cataclysmic Gearhulk is just a one-of, and it's a great answer when your opponent gets ahead of you. Really nice way to reset the board. So to me, it's just another Fumigate. Then we have our Noxious Gearhulks. Noxious Gearhulk, great destroy ability, and you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. With Panharmonicon, we can wipe an entire board with that bad boy. And what I call the win condition of the deck, Combustible Gearhulk. When Combustible Gearhulk enters the battlefield, target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. If the player doesn't, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then, Combustible Gearhulk deals damage to that player equal to the total converted mana cost of those cards. I have had it, so I've had a Combustible Gearhulk resolve. My opponent does not want me to draw, so they discard the top 3 cards in my library, and they've discarded 3 Gearhulks. Well, Gearhulks cost 6, so that's 18 damage. I've had it do no damage, but it's just a great, especially Panharmonicon, if they're like, oh, just graveyard really quick, it just kills out of nowhere. Also, it gets cards in our graveyard, which is great for Restoration Gearsmith to get back. So, that is the main board. Let's go to the sideboard. And one of the spiciest parts of the sideboard, I personally think, is Descend Upon the Sinful. Let me display this. This is another one not many people play, and I don't, for the life of me, I don't know why. It's awesome. So, 4 and 2 white, so it's 6. Fumigate's 5, this is 6. Exile all creatures. There's a great answer to Ulamog. Delirium. Create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Well, we get Delirium really easily in this deck. 1 Evolving Wilds, 1 spell, like one of our sorcery or instant spells, which we have a lot of, and 1 Gearhulk, and we have Delirium already. As a turn 2 Delirium. So turn 1 Evolving Wilds, turn 2 play it on tap land, Tormenting Voice, ditch a Gearhulk. Voila, we have Delirium. This deck gets it very, very simply. So almost by turn 6, almost every time we have Delirium. So Descend Upon the Sinful is just great for those aggro matchups that really, really, really we need. Fumigate alone does not suffice. Honestly, I'm to a point now where I might consider taking a Cast out in the Sweltering Suns and putting those in the sideboard and putting Descend Upon the Sinful into the main board. It's that good. Then we have our 2 Transgressive Minds. This, of course, is for your Aetherworks Marvel matchup, because the best way to beat Aetherworks Marvel is just get it out of their hand before they cast it. Grasp of Darkness is another hedge against any indestructible things like Yahenni, which has been popping up here and there, and the gods. Dispossess, another answer to Marvel. Release the Gremlins, Marvel, or Mardu Vehicles is also pretty good, and it's just an all-around good sideboard card for any deck that's playing red. And then Unlicensed Disintegration is a really good card against those random creature decks that you're trying to push damage through. We have a lot of artifacts, and Unlicensed Disintegration just works really well with it. So, that is the sideboard. This is the deck. I will have a deck list posted in the details down below. If you like this deck, I hope you take it to a Friday Night Magic. It's so much fun. Well, my name is Justin with Epic Game Time. You all have been my epic viewers. I hope you all do something epic today. If you like what you saw, hit follow, subscribe, leave a comment. Let's talk about the deck. And thank you all. Have a great day.